Hey guys, Sam here. Welcome to another FIFA 17 experiment. Today we're going to be looking at what the Premier League would look like if it had a drafting system. That's actually not what we're doing, you idiot. We're not looking at if it had a drafting system, we're looking if it had a playoff system. Initially I was going to just do the 20-man Premier League and then put them into a playoffs with the top 8 teams, but I thought to myself, why not make it like a conference sort of thing? Why not split England up with the North and the South?
Fucking northern monkeys.
I hate these fucking southern fairies.
So we're going to have a Northern Conference with 10 teams and a Southern Conference with 10 teams, and the top 4 teams from each conference will move on into a playoff scenario where the first seeded team plays the 4th from both conferences, and they eventually meet into a grand final to see who would win. If the Premier League did have playoffs, would it be the first seed team? Would it be the talented teams? Or could some smaller clubs potentially slip in to a 3rd or 4th position and battle it out to try and get to the final? If you guys do think this is a good idea, then we'll go ahead and do it with the other leagues as well, and we'll take a look at what sort of results we'll get. But without further ado, let's get into the simulations, let's take a look at the conferences, and let's take a look at who would win if the Premier League had playoffs. Okay, so looking at the Northern Conference first, we have Burnley, Everton, Hull City, Leicester City, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Middlesbrough, Stoke, and Sunderland. Now, there is a bit of a caveat, because if you take a look at the Southern Conference, Leicester and West Brom, I think, are the 2 teams where the cities are actually quite close to each other. They're actually, like, if you take a look at them as far as like North and South, Leicester's just slightly more north than West Brom, and that was really the only thing where it was close. Otherwise, these teams are very clearly in the north or the south. But looking at the Southern Conference, we have Arsenal, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Spurs, Swansea, who are in Wales, but they are pretty south. We have Watford, West Brom, and West Ham. Okay, so halfway through the season in the Northern Conference, Leicester City are undefeated, if you could believe that. 5 wins, 4 draws to their name. Manchester United in 2nd, Burnley in 3rd, and Middlesbrough in 4th. Big teams like Liverpool, City are definitely struggling. Everton without a win, 7 draws, that's all they have. Taking a look at the Southern Conference halfway through the season, Arsenal sit at the top of the table with West Brom, Watford, and Chelsea so far joining them in the playoffs. We have underachievers Spurs, 1 win, just 5 points to their name. So in both conferences, some small teams fighting for the top 4 positions to try and get into the playoffs. So hopefully they can keep their spots, because I want to see a couple of different names potentially making it far in this tournament. Okay, here we are at the end of the season. The Northern Conference has leveled out a little bit. Leicester City still ended up finishing 1st. They picked up 3 losses in the last half of the season, and they only got 1st seed, I guess we can call it, by 1 point over Manchester United and Liverpool. United on goal difference get the 2nd seed, but it doesn't matter because 2nd plays 3rd anyway, and Liverpool came in 3rd, with Middlesbrough clinching that 4th spot ahead of Manchester City by a point. So well done from Middlesbrough. You would have expected probably Manchester City or Everton to finish in that 4th spot, but Middlesbrough have done it, and they have booked their place in the playoffs to play Leicester City. Heading down to the South, Arsenal continued their domination of the South. Just 1 loss throughout the regular season, 18 games played. They only lost 1. That's pretty decent with 41 points. Clear winners, 9-point winners over West Brom, who finished in 2nd. Again, quite surprising. And West Brom finished 2nd quite comfortably, ahead of Chelsea, who were 5 points behind them. They ended up getting 3rd place, and Southampton got 4th place. Spurs, they had a bit of a battle. They tried to come back. Unfortunately, they couldn't. They missed out on 2 points of the playoff position, but it will be Arsenal, West Brom, Chelsea, and Southampton making it out of the Southern Conference. Quickly taking a look at the top goal scorers in Northern Conference, it was Coutinho who picked up 10 goals, with Negredo and Wilfred Bony picking up 7 apiece. And in the South, it was Morrison and Lanzini who picked up 8 apiece, with Michail Antonio chipping in for West Ham with 7. So Philippe Coutinho was the most prolific goal scorer in the regular season. Okay, so looking at the playoff brackets, this is what it looks like. Leicester will play Middlesbrough, United will play Liverpool, Arsenal will play Southampton, and West Brom will play Chelsea. You can see the conferences are on each side, and you can see the seeds that each of these teams goes into this playoffs with. So without further ado, we'll start off with the Northern Conference, Leicester versus Middlesbrough. Every playoff game will be decided over 2 legs other than the final. So the first leg of the first match here, Leicester and Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough going out to an early, or not early lead, but a surprising lead, that's for sure. De Roon puts Middlesbrough up away to Leicester. 4th seed Middlesbrough are 1-0 up. Going into the last 20 or so minutes, Leicester need a bit of something. They're gonna go down at home. Mendy's been sent off, and that is it. Middlesbrough have clinched a 1-0 win in the first leg. If they can back it up in the second leg, they'll be going through. Alright, game 2 now, Middlesbrough at home. All they have to do is hang on to this 1-0 win against Leicester City. If they can do that, they will be progressing to the conference finals. They'll be battling it out to be the potential best team in the north, but it looks like it's another cagey game. 0-0 going into half-time. Okazaki coming out of second half, picking up a goal, and it is 1-0 to Leicester City. Going into extra time, it looks like at this point. If anything can change, it has to change now. It's not going to change. We're going into extra time, and it's 1-1 on aggregate. It's Forshaw who's put Middlesbrough up, but Slimani, 3 minutes later, crushes Middlesbrough's hope. 2-1 with the away goal as well. Leicester City go through 2-2, no penalties, obviously because of the away goal ruling. And it's Leicester City, the number 1 seed, who will progress through to the Northern Conference Finals. Alright, sticking with the Northern Conference, we have the number 2 seed Manchester United playing the number 3 seed Liverpool. So this will be a definite tight game, a big rivalry between these two teams, of course, and they've scored in the same minute. Coutinho putting in a penalty, Pogba with an instant response in every essence of the word. Ibrahimovic has put Manchester United up 2-1 before half-time. Going into the second half, it's Fellaini coming off for Carrick, and Henderson makes the equaliser count. 2-2. And Liverpool, despite 3-2 to Manchester United. I was going to say, despite being 2-2, Liverpool wouldn't be happy, definitely would not be happy with a 3-2 home loss. And Manchester United look good going into the second leg. Alright, here it is, the second leg. Manchester United coming in with a 3-2 lead. They don't need to push anything, but they also don't want Liverpool getting an early goal here. It's Mkhitaryan who's put them up 4-2 on aggregate now, and Manchester United can breathe comfortably, surely. Oh my goodness. They're more than comfortable. Manchester United, 5-2 on aggregate at the moment. Anthony Martial put them up 2-0 in the game. 5-2 on aggregate, and Pogba wraps it up. See you later, Liverpool. Sorry for coming, but you just got absolutely annihilated. 6-2 on aggregate. United are looking good. So it's going to be Leicester versus Manchester United in the Northern Conference Final. What's it going to be in the South? Who's going to prevail? It's Arsenal versus Southampton. Your obvious tip would be Arsenal. It's Hector Bellerin who's put them up 1-0 in the 13th minute. Ozil's missed a penalty, which could have given Arsenal a comfortable lead, but it's Nacho Monreal who's there to make sure they have it. Going into the second half, Arsenal don't have to do too much now, but it's Sanchez who makes it 3. They're just in cruise control now. They've shifted through the gears, and it's easy sailing for Arsenal in this first leg. 3-0, and they've made their job very easy going to Southampton. Second leg time here, away at Southampton is Arsenal. They have a 3-0 lead. They don't have to do anything. They can sit back, relax, enjoy Southampton, a coastal city, of course, and they can just, just chill out, really. They don't have to do anything, and it looks like that's how it's turning out. Going to the second half, Southampton, really, if they wanted to fight back in this game, needed an early goal. They haven't got it. With half an hour left, very unlikely that anything's going to happen in this game. 10 minutes left. Arsenal just seen this game out, 0-0, and they have won 3-0 on aggregate to make it to the Southern Conference Finals. And who will join them? Is it going to be West Bromwich Albion or Chelsea? West Brom actually come in as the number 2 seeded team here, finishing higher than Chelsea, which you might think is a surprise. And it is. I'm not saying that if you think that, you're wrong. But Solomon Rondon has put West Bromwich Albion up 1-0. And going into halftime, West Brom have a good lead. 1-0. I mean, they just need to sit tight on this now. West Brom, a pretty good defensive team. So they just have to hang on now. 20 minutes left. 1-0 up. Don't give Chelsea that away goal. Don't do it, West Brom. They've hung in. 1-0 West Bromwich Albion. Come on. I want a small team to get to the conference final, guys. You can't blame me. This is where it's going to get tough for West Brom. Hanging on to that lead at Stamford Bridge is never an easy thing. And it looks like Chelsea with an early goal, 1-0. David Luiz putting him up in the 5th minute. Already showing this is going to be a hard game for West Brom to contend with. It's 2-0. Now, West Brom aren't in a bad position. They just need a goal to go through on the away goal ruling, but it's Chelsea with Nemanja Matic. 3-0, and you got to assume that that is it. Matic makes it 4, just for extra insult, added insult to injury right there. 4-0 for Chelsea, and they progress through against West Bromwich Albion 4-1 on aggregate. Alright, so looking at the bracket now, it's Leicester City and Manchester United who have made it through. Leicester going through 2-2 against Middlesbrough, so not the best. Not good for confidence, I'd say, for Leicester City. Manchester United, on the other hand, 6-2 on aggregate against Liverpool. What a result that is for them. Arsenal in the south took down Southampton 3-0 on aggregate, and Chelsea going through 4-1 on aggregate. Both London teams looking pretty good going into the Southern Conference Finals. But without further ado, let's take a look at which team rules which side of England. Kicking things off in the north, it is the number 1 seeded team, Leicester City, taking on the number 2 seeded team, Manchester United. The two best teams in the north going at it. And who's going to prevail in this first leg at the King Power Stadium? Anthony Martial puts Manchester United up 1-0. And they've just looked so lethal, Manchester United. Really, you just assume that they will score a goal. I mean, on average in the playoffs, they're scoring 3 goals a game. So you would have just assumed that they would have scored. Looks like a bit more of a controlled performance here today as Pogba misses a penalty. Now that could turn out to be vital, but it is an away goal and it's a 1-0 lead going into the second leg. At Old Trafford now, Manchester United need to see their job out. If they got a 1-0 win on the road, you would expect them to do it at home as Ibrahimovic puts them up 1-0 in the 16th minute and doubles his tally in the 34th. And that's pretty much, you would assume, it 3-0 on aggregate here for Manchester United. And you would just assume from here on out they could see the game out and they're not going to concede 3 goals here. You would very highly doubt that. In the last 10 minutes, Mata makes it 4 on aggregate. And that is it. Manchester United, the best team in the north, representing the north in the final. But who will be their opponent? Will it be Arsenal or will it be Chelsea? The number 1 seeded team, Arsenal, take on the number 3 seeded team, Chelsea. And it's Arsenal off to an early lead through a Mesut Ozil penalty in the 9th minute. Very good start for Arsenal. You can't ask for too much, but Hazard brings it back 1-1 now. Arsenal do have the away goal though, so they probably won't be too stressed out with a 1-1. Pedro puts Chelsea up 2-1, and now Arsenal should start stressing. Chelsea have a lead, and we know when they have a lead, they don't like letting go of it. They'll be going into the away leg, they'll be going into the second leg with a 2-1 lead. Arsenal still with the away goal. That could prove very pivotal. What can Arsenal do in front of their home fans? Can they bring this back? It's 2-1 at the moment to Chelsea. Arsenal need a goal. They need a goal quickly, and they need to sit on that goal, and it's gone the complete other way. Pedro's put Chelsea up 1-0, and it's 3-1 to Chelsea on aggregate. Matic has picked up a red card, though. If only that actually meant something in simmed games. It really doesn't mean anything in simmed games, and Chelsea could probably just ride this game out at this point. Arsenal need 2 in 20 minutes, and I just don't see it happening. It's 10 minutes left, and Chelsea have just... It looks like a very clinical performance from Chelsea. 1-0 win, and they've progressed to face Manchester United in the final of the playoffs. So looking at the playoff picture, this is how things stack up going into the final. It is Manchester United who have gone through 4-0 on aggregate, taking on Chelsea who have gone through 3-1 on aggregate. It is showtime. No more talk. North versus South. Who's going to win? Let's find out. Here it is, 1 leg for this, 1 leg for the final. Chelsea versus Manchester United. This is it. This is the best team in the north playing the best team in the south. And it's United who have gone up 1-0 after 15 minutes through Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Pedro, however, equalises at the half-an-hour mark. It's 1-1 going into half-time. This seems like a very close game. What else would you expect from two very talented teams here? Martial has put Manchester United up 2-1 and there's 15 minutes left, but Fabregas has different ideas, 2-2, and we're going into extra time. What more would you expect from the two best teams in England? And who's going to win here? Is it going to go to penalties? Is there a late thriller? There is. Anthony Martial in the 116th minute has put United up 3-2, and that is game. It is over. Manchester United are your winners, if you can believe that. They have done it. The number 2 seeded team in the North has won the whole thing. Manchester United are the best team in England. If you guys did enjoy this, please do leave a like on the video, and if you want to see more of it, do let me know in the comments below, and we'll do this with some of the other leagues. In the top right corner, I'll have a poll between a few different leagues that you guys want to see us do playoffs with, if it is something that you guys want to see in general. So if you did enjoy this, again, as I said, do leave a like. I hope you did enjoy today's video. I hope you had a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Keep it real.